Hi travelers, Tara here, Hidden Lotus Tarot. Today is January 16th, 2017, and I'm coming to you today with a general reading for the sign of Aries, Sun, Moon, and Rising. Please keep in mind that this is a general reading and the messages will not resonate with everyone. In order to gain more insight into your specific situation requires a personal reading. I do readings 6 days a week, and my turnaround time is between 48 to 72 hours. If you want more information about my services, the readings, and how it all works, you can click on one of the banner links that will appear in the video on the right-hand corner. That'll take you directly over to the website. I do suggest that you please read the important information on booking first before you pay for the reading. It will explain a lot to you. A lot of you probably are not aware that I did post the December readings. I did that back in November. So if you go to the December playlist, you can look up your sun, moon, and rising sign for December 2016. And then in conjunction with this reading, it may give you a bit more information in addition to those open readings that I have posted. You can kind of piece it all together perhaps. All of the other playlists are offline, okay? You can only access the December playlist for 2016, and that's it. Let's see. We are still under the Mercury direct shadow phase. It does not end until January 28th. On the same day, we have the new moon in Aquarius. New moons are about new beginnings. It's time to start something new. I never ever suggest doing anything under a Mercury retrograde. We have in February coming up, we have our first eclipse of 2017, and it will be running across the Aquarius Leo axis. This is Aquarius rules the group and the greater good and those friendships of organizations that you deal with, as opposed to the lovers, the baby, the children, the hobbies, personally. Okay, that's what Leo represents, the fifth house. Let's see. I think that's pretty much it. We're going to go ahead and get started. Please, I would like to welcome all of my new subscribers and my old diehard subscribers. Thank you for sticking around with me into 2017. I will be bringing you some new things. I've been working diligently behind the scenes. Now, I have the Rider-Waite deck here with me. I have the La Vida Sibila. I also have the Indovinas, Sibila Indovina. And I have the Angel Answer card. And the way that I use the Angel Answer cards, for those of you new to the channel, is that after I've done the spread, the reading, what I will do is ask you to formulate a question in your mind. And then I will pull an Angel Answer card. And perhaps the Angel Answer card will give you the answer that you need to hear. Again, there is no timing in the tarot. Nothing that I say, that I see, is set in stone because everybody has free will. Okay? That's pretty much it. We're going to go ahead and lay down 9 cards. Again, this is for Aries, Sun, Moon, and Rising for January 2017. All right. The Strength card. You know, there's been a lot of fire energy coming up, but I think that's because Uranus is in Aries. Saturn is in Sagittarius. So we got a lot of big planets going on within the fire signs here. So here we have the Strength card. Then we have the Devil. And this is the Capricorn energy. And right now we have Sun in Capricorn, Mars in Capricorn, Mercury in Capricorn. At least we had Mercury in Capricorn and maybe in Sagittarius now. I don't know. There's a lot going on in Capricorn. And then we have the Ace of Wands. Now, for those of you who don't know how the tarot works, the tarot is divided into 2 sections. One section is called the Major Arcana, which are going to be your cards like Strength and the Devil. These represent spiritual lessons, life lessons, things that happen to us or experiences that we have to go through in order to gain evolution and spiritual growth. And then we have what are known as the pip cards, and these are going to be your numbered cards, which includes the aces. And the aces represent ones, new energy. And it also includes your court cards, which would be your pages, your kings, queens, and knights. we have the Four of Wands. Now that's an example of a pip card. All of the numbered cards from the aces to 10. The Four of Swords. Well, oh yeah, and we're 3 months into Jupiter in Libra. Jupiter rules Sagittarius. Sagittarius is all about expansion of geographical and philosophical and intellectual horizons. It rules foreigners, people at places at a distance, and foreign places and people at a distance, and not necessarily foreign like across the water, but somebody who perhaps lives across the country from you. It rules higher education. It is an expansive energy. And Jupiter comes in to bring opportunities to do this. But we have to be cautious in picking and choosing the right opportunities, even if you don't. That's why the major arcanas are here, so that you can learn a lesson from that. But at the same time, what Jupiter represents, what Libra represents, is the balance within partnership. And so the 7th house is ruled by Libra, and that is also ruled by Venus. Here we have Venus in Aries, and then we have Jupiter in Libra. Now, Venus can be about being in love for the sake of being in love. It rules our belief, our value system, our self-esteem, our self-worth, the money that we earn on our own, placing a value upon ourselves and our services and our ability. Libra rules the house of partnership and marriages. But it looks at the balance and the equality in that particular relationship, even if it's a business relationship. So what happens when Jupiter in Libra comes up is that there can be multiple relationships going on at the same time, or multiple opportunities coming in at the same time, some for good, some for bad. King of Cups. Well, I suppose that some of you are either dealing with an earth sign, a Capricorn, that's what this card represents, or a water sign, which is going to be your Cancer, Scorpio, or Pisces. The Hermit, a Virgo. I mean, there could be any sign here. We have a Leo, Capricorn, a water sign, a Virgo. This would be 2 earth signs. It could be anything, really. 2 of Cups. Now, this card is coming up a lot, and I'm seeing this a lot in readings because what we are really being tasked to look at is our partnerships, okay? Whether you are married, divorced, single, attached, committed, it is asking us to look at partnership and relationships. The Page of Swords. This is funny because these 3 cards just came out in the reading before, and I don't remember which reading that was. Underneath there, well, there she is, Venus. Okay, there she is. So I have 1, 2, 3 major arcana in the spread. These take more weight than our pip cards. Ace of Wands, 4 of Wands, 4 of Swords, and I have 2 repeater numbers here. I have 2 4s. Now, 2 4s can speak to being extremely overly cautious about moving forward with some project, which in one respect may not be a bad thing, particularly with, the Uranus going direct and the Mercury retrograde. But at the same time, at some point, we're going to have to come out of our comfort zone, okay? But also, 2 4s represent a stable situation, all right? A static situation, the Devil. It's not changing. Now, on the surface, this doesn't look like a very difficult spread. And I think that, remember I was talking about the Aquarius, Leo axis? I think in one respect that could be why the Leo card has come out. For some of you, this is about babies, lovers, children, millennials, in some respect. Now, the wands represent fire energy, and fire is all about, it's a fast-moving energy, a sweeping energy, but it is about your desire, your passion, your ambition. Aries rules the 1st house. Libra rules the 7th house, so they are in opposition. So this is how the relationship appears to the outside world, and how you present to the outside world, because that's what the first house rules. It's the house of self. What is your presentation, your package? What is the way that you look? How does the way that you look affect the kind of relationships that you attract? Does it prevent you from attracting the kind of relationships that you want? Are you putting out there something that really doesn't resonate with what you are on the inside? Okay. The 7th house is also known as the house of open enemies. So this could be, you know, somebody that you've been in partnership with. Now y'all are fighting in public. It's open. Okay? It's wide open, and now everybody knows the secrets that are going on. The cracks have started to show. So what I see here is someone who's really trying to get a handle on whatever this devil means. Now, the devil represents Saturn. He represents Capricorn. The first thing you need to know about the devil is that the devil rules the material plane. Okay? So we're talking about food, money, sex, cars, fashion, hair, anything that is on the material plane. Okay? Venus is all about sensuality, same energy. It rules, you know, food and drink, the finer things in life. Now, this could be about someone who, maybe someone's been having difficulty overspending. I don't know. The devil can also represent karmic ties and bonds. You see those two people tied there to the base. Someone feeling as though they can't get away from a certain thing. It can speak to addictions. It can speak to abuse. It can speak to also self-sabotaging behavior. Continually doing the same thing over and over again and not can't figure out how come you can't get away from it, and why your life is crappy, or you keep running into the same problems. Okay? But we see that the universe is trying to send you a new way of doing things. Sometimes this is what the wands can represent. It can represent a new idea or a new concept, or a new attitude in terms of the way you're going to approach something. It is definitely new here. Now, right in the center, we have the Four of Swords. And the Four of Swords, again, represents that Jupiter in Libra. Swords represent communications, thoughts, perceptions, beliefs, ideas, concepts, communication. I don't know if I said that already. And so what you're looking at is someone who has decided to take a time out. Sometimes it takes more strength, okay, to step back from a confusing, chaotic, maybe highly charged situation, so that you can gain a little bit of clarity on it, than it is to continue to stay in the middle of it. Okay. And Jupiter is bringing you the opportunity to do that. And not only is he bringing you the opportunity to do that, he is bringing you the opportunity to really, really, really do things in another way. Okay. Here we have the Hermit. And the Hermit card represents the energy of someone who has withdrawn. Maybe they've been alone by themselves for a very, very long time, but they're in a space of contemplation, meditation. As you can see, things are frozen. He's standing on frozen ground, but he's gone within, okay, because he needs to get some kind of clarity. Maybe he needs to formulate some plans. Maybe he needs to take a look at where he's been and the experiences that he's had, and where he wants to go, and what can he take with him on this new journey. Because a lot of times that's what the aces represent. It's an opportunity. And if you're not in the right place emotionally, spiritually, physically, psychologically, whatever the case may be, financially, okay, then those new opportunities that Jupiter presents you could pass you by. But the image of the energy also of the Hermit, he's a scholar. He's a learned individual. So not only that, but once he comes out of this space, he's not only able to know what the hell he's supposed to be doing now, but he's also able to share his knowledge. So he not only holds the lamp for himself to see through the darkness, he is holding the lamp and shining the light for other people who have lost their way, okay, in the darkness. He's saying, you know, seek and you shall find, and I'm here to help you if you need it. Okay, so sometimes we all need to embody the energy of the Hermit. And I do feel that for some of you, you have are really, really, really trying to break away from something that has been very, very limiting. And that's what Saturn does. Saturn is the taskmaster. He can be a real bastard. He can make life very, very hard for you. And you want to, I'm sure, as Aries energy, you're like this. You ain't got time to wait. You're not patient. I just got to get it done, and screw that. I'm not even going to look back. I'm just going to keep it moving. Well, that no longer, I think, is working for you. And so Saturn comes in to say, look, slow it down, because you're making moves so fast, you're not even giving it enough time to build something. You know, you got to have something to build upon, some kind of foundation. And this is not always necessarily about financial, but remember, he does rule the physical plane. So it could be your finances are shabby. It could be that, you know, where you're living is not where you want to be. You're not in the right neighborhood. Maybe the job that you have is not sufficient, but you're not giving it time to, you know, instead of you really sitting down and taking a good long hard look at what you need to be doing, you're just moving and flitting from thing to thing, place to place, person to person. Okay, and that's a self-sabotaging behavior. Now, the Strength card says that you need to get all of that crazy ass energy that you got going on and kind of focus it, get a handle on it. Okay, and if you can do that, you can be successful in whatever it is that you want to do. This card is also about taking a risk. So if some of you have been wanting to, you've been giving it great weight and thought, you've been making your plans, you've been doing what Saturn has asked you to do, and you're ready now to make a move, okay? And perhaps for some of you, this is about moving, because the 2 4s also represent a change of address, okay? At least if not state to state, then just a zip code change. But this is about wanting to move house and a change of address, okay? And maybe some of you have been doing the research on where you want to be moving to. Are you checking the crime rates? You're checking the school districts. You're checking how long is it going to take me to get from where I live, the new place that I moved to the job, whatever the case may be. But this card says that if you want to make a move and take a risk, you know, I would not advise doing it until sometime in February, and also be very cautious around the eclipses on the 26th, 3 days before and 3 days after, because eclipses hide things. Okay, and there's situations that we don't know, and it can take anywhere from 3 to 6 months for it to play out, for us to actually get that illumination. I feel that for some of you, someone has returned from your past. Sometimes this is what this is saying. This is somebody that you have not had a very good history with. Maybe you guys are still at odds with each other here, but we're looking at a partnership. Now I want you to take a look at this does not look good. That does. So this comes in the middle to tell you to give a good, long, hard think about that. Okay? Maybe some of you are contemplating getting back with an ex. Now, whenever I see these 2 cards together, this tells me that there is a highly, highly sexual component to the relationship. It's not about, Venus is not about deep love. She's about attraction and love for the sake of love, or desire for the sake of desire. But she's not necessarily about, why do I say that? Because if you know the myth of Venus, Venus was married to Vulcan, but she also had many, many affairs. Okay. And what did Vulcan do? Vulcan devised traps for people, very clever ones at that. He didn't kill anybody, but he would devise nets and ropes to bind people so that they could not move or they could not leave him. Okay. And the willpower that it took for him not to kill anybody, because he never killed any of her lovers. She had Mars as a lover. She had somebody else as a lover. She even had kids with some of her lovers. Okay. So there's a warning there. Now, I can see that perhaps for some of you, you may be moving because of some water sign individual. Now, whether this is same-sex or heterosexual, it's irrelevant. Just know it's a water sign. Maybe some of you have met somebody new, and this new individual, and the reason why I say somebody new is because he shows up with the ace and the page, and these are new energies, and he is on the vertical future column. So maybe some of you are thinking about moving to be with a water sign, or to be near a water sign individual, Cancer, Pisces, or Scorpio. And maybe this individual himself has been alone for a long, long time or not in a relationship. We can see that he himself perhaps has maybe been struggling with being alone. But now this card, I've also seen this representative that he's someone who may drink heavily or have a drug addiction. And I say that because I got this card. And he's really been working on that and taking a long, hard look at that. Okay. And that's why I'm saying be cautious. If this is somebody new or somebody that comes up, for some of you, this will be somebody who will show up new on the horizon. And it could be that this individual moves near you. Okay. Maybe he is coming from a place of a cold climate and he's moving to a warmer climate. See the colors, the landscape there. Now, what I'm getting from this row is it's definitely about isolation and being alone, not being in a relationship for quite a long time. And now we have the energy of the Two of Cups come in. Now, the Two of Cups is not the lovers. The Two of Cups is most definitely about meeting your match. Okay. This is perhaps can be sometimes, particularly with Venus coming in, can be love at first sight. But remember, Venus is not about deep love. Okay. And she's not about balanced love. And she's not about fair love. Okay. She's romantic, but that's about it. She rules Libra. And remember, Libra is a superficial kind of an energy in terms of partnerships, and it's how things look on the surface. Now, we do see that some new opportunity comes through this King of Cups here, and he comes with the message. This guy could be a smooth talker, but may not be able to back up what it is that he is promising. And as I can see, we are bringing into this energy some baggage from our past relationships. Okay? And you might want to be cautious of that. This is not to say that this individual will not be a trustworthy individual. Doesn't mean that. But because I have this wishy-washy Jupiter and Libra and this Venus, this is kind of telling me that this may be the type of individual who says he's looking for a committed, stable relationship. Okay? But ain't quite sure. Maybe this person themselves are coming out of a bad relationship. One in which they have felt isolated. We're going to take Sibila's on this. See, so this is an opportunity for some of you. This, you know, it could be even just that it's an opportunity to move in with somebody. Because this is the card of shacking up or marriage. I don't see marriage here. I don't. This is just a partnership. Now, if these three cards had fallen in line, let's say if these three cards had fallen together like this, that would, to me, says marriage. If it was backed up by the ace. But that's not how the cards fell. And when Jupiter comes in Libra, this means lots of divorces. And then the dating pool opens up because people who were previously committed are now single. And then that gives you more opportunity to find another mate, your match. Okay. But, you know, depending on the circumstances of where everybody's coming from, that could be a problem. And maybe that person got divorced for a reason, and you don't know that reason yet. Why? Because you just met them. So there are going to be a record number, I think, between 2017 and 2018, a record number of divorces and a record number of marriages. And not only is it because the dating pool is opening up, but we also have a rapidly changing socio-economic political climate. And nobody knows what's happening. At this point, everybody's nervous. And this card could be about really doing your research before you go ahead with anything. You know, that there it is, that fire energy. I want to do it. I met somebody. I want to get it done quick, 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 quick. And it could just be that after all is said and done, this is really just a sexual attraction. That it may not be, you know, what you think it is. So you want to look at that. Some of you, I feel, will go ahead and do it anyway. Sex so good, I'm just going to go ahead and move in with the person. But look at those two cards. See, this looks good on the surface. That's why we're going to take the Sibilas and take a look at this. And what it ends with the Page of Swords. And this is a message. Some kind of message or news coming in. It could also be about spying. It could also be about someone who has a very, very sharp tongue. This is the Page is a student of communication. Now I have two court cards here. So I'm looking at an older person and a younger person. All right. Let's pull the, on this Page of Swords here. So Venus is asking you, the overall energy, to come in and really get a handle on what you want for yourself. What will you sell your soul to the devil for? What will you not sell your soul to the devil for? The casa, the home. Now, the home is supposed to be a risk-free kind of investment. La Vecchia Signora. Now, she speaks to somebody who gives advice, but she also speaks to changes falling on this. And what I'm looking at is some kind of news that is coming through that's going to have a lot, that's going to cause some extreme worry and anxiety. The dispiacere, the tears surrounding this King of Cups individual. Now, this person may not be a water sign. They could be any sign really, but to you, they are the King of Hearts. This is somebody that but it smacks strongly of just a sexual relationship, a sexual attraction, and nothing more. Now, I don't know which side that falls on. And because I have this Empress here, the Devil and the Empress, there's also a warning that, you know, if you don't want to end up having kids at this point in time, there's going to be a record number of pregnancies too. Do take steps to protect yourself. Maybe that's why that Caduceus has shown up. Because it's not just about pregnancy. There's crap that can kill you now. Some of it you got like a good set of luggage and you keep forever, and the rest of it can kill you. So, you know, be cautious. The Devil. Now, for some of you, this is about hanging on to a past relationship that was successful in some way, shape, or form. Something that perhaps you have worked on very, very long and very, very hard to achieve. Capricorn is all about social climbing. How do I get from here to there? It is about your reputation and your status in the world. Somebody coming to a complete and total separation, an end coming, but somebody refusing not to let go of that. Why? I think that's because somebody won't leave the picture, and perhaps they're giving confusing information. Maybe this is the other person not wanting to let go of the relationship. Why? It kind of reads like stalker energy as well, because sometimes that's what that card can say. It was a highly sexual relationship. Now, this could be about you having tiptoed out on your partner and had a relationship behind the scenes. Now you're trying to get your shit back together and you can't get rid of this person. See, there's some disturbance surrounding the home here. Why? You didn't think about the consequences of what you were doing. You thought, oh, I'm going to go play. Or that person said, oh, I'm just going to go have fun. And now you can't get rid of the person. Okay, every time you look up, there they are. Well, quick gratification or long-term results. And that's what Saturn is all about. Quick gratification, Venus, or long-term results. Now, this is an odd 3 cards. See, again, we get the message that there was something, and this is Jupiter. This is the Wheel of Fortune. So that says that, you know, whenever you're at the very top, know that you are already on your way down. And that when you reach your lowest point, you are already on your way back up. That's the cycle. And you have to figure out how to fix yourself in the middle so that you're not too affected by things. So here we see something that's extremely positive and fortunate. Or so we thought. The dilettante, stupid actions and stupid behaviors. Now see, now we're giving that shit some extra thought. Okay? Superbia. Whatever it was that you have done, and you're thinking about that now, it says that there's arrogance involved in that, or vanity. That's interesting. I don't know how this is going to play out. The cards are not even giving me a clue or a hint. Because I'm not saying there's a possible move. That's all that they're telling me. Not telling me anything else. All right. Formulate your question in your mind if it was not answered in this reading. Venus. Now, Venus also represents wealth and abundance. So if you can figure out whatever it is that you need to figure out, there will be some kind of abundance here for you. There's the possibility of it. Okay? It's just a possibility. It's an opportunity. You know, and if, like I said, you got some shit in your background, you know, that might be coming up. So you may want to figure out how to clear that out of the way so that you can move forward, take a step back and re-examine that. That's what you do under any retrograde cycle. You re-examine, review, reassess. Anything that you could put re in front of, do that. Okay. Here's the, hopefully will answer your, look at there. Opportunity is exactly what it says. I kid you not. All right, Aries, Sun, Moon, and Rising. That's what I have for you. I hope the messages help. Until next time, namaste.